Well, I was thinking that, since HUAC had such a huge impact on the marriage between Miller and Marilyn Monroe, because really their marriage happened right before he was called before HUAC, and there was pressure on him to get her to pose with this guy, and then he wouldn't have to stand before the committee, just a simple little photo, but he didn't go through with it, so they tried him for a fucking photo, with Marilyn Monroe, and then there was pressure on her in her career to drop him, or she, just all kinds of stuff happened to that marriage, and you just wonder, a lot of other things too, but you just wonder how much that kind of pressure and their marriage in the fishbowl, basically, at the same time. This is all going on, how much that impacted.
Yeah, it was just interesting just to think how it impacted the entire country. Not just, the Hollywood 10 and everyone else who was, blacklisted and, whose lives were ruined, and, how many suicides were, the cause of it. The amount of fear that one man was able to generate and get so many people behind him. It's interesting to me because you look at just the time period. We come out of World War II, we're #1, and then it's just all of a sudden this awfulness happens where people are suspecting one another for nothing. It could be the smallest little thing. Mm-hmm. So it could be just the drop of a joke. I made a communist joke, so that makes me a communist. Or I went to an Arthur Miller play, The Crucible, and that's about McCarthyism. And I'm immediately blacklisted. Just the amount of it's unreal that for how long it went, and how much damage was allowed to go on, and people not really fully standing up and saying no. So there's something as dreadful as it was for him trying to find a way to avoid being called before. It took a lot of guts to go up there and be like, no, I'm not gonna. Won't do it.
There's strange dynamic. During the war, the U.S. was allied with the Soviet Union to defeat the Nazis, and there were all kinds of artistic events and rallying events happening with the American Communist Party being there, to raise money for American U.S. bonds and, and support the war effort. And then, coming after the war with the Soviet Union hanging on to its client states after, sweeping through and liberating them from the Nazis. It suddenly kind of turned on everything in, American culture that, it was either a light alliance or it wasn't, maybe I'm a fellow traveler, but I'm not a full-on commie. I'm more of a democratic socialist. But no, everyone gets the blacklist who has some kind of association. It's like a weird attempt at purging that just, can't work and won't work and is absurd. Again, the absurdity,
Just the chaos of it.
Yeah. Crazy times. Still in them. I wanted to, I have not even cracked into, I've never seen After the Fall, I've never read it, any of that tying in to any of this? And go ahead, I want to give you first shot at that, just because. What's after the Fall, how it ties in with anything that we've said so far about the other works or the other things that.
Oh, absolutely. There's. I almost don't want to ruin it for you.
Oh.
I really want. It's. I feel like it's the play that covers everything. It's such a monstrosity. There's McCarthyism. There's these incredible relationships. It's so beautiful and such poetry as well.
Okay, awesome. Well, I am so looking forward to everything coming out, both with the productions and for Playwright Scholarship Series. So I just want to thank you again for allowing us this time to discuss all of it with you.
Thank you.
And
thank you. Please come to all.
Please come to all. And definitely make it to see Resurrection Blues, now showing at Greenhouse Theater, put on by Eclipse Theatre, and The Crucible is still going on too at the Raven Theater, put on by Infamous Commonwealth Theater. So go see it all. Thank you.